Hello, you're watching VNA News Agency's Daily Bulletin. Following are the headlines. President Trương Tấn Sang visited Vietsopetrol on the second day of the traditional Lunar New Year. Government sector advised to strengthen internal force. A tour of famous pagodas in capital city. President Trương Tấn Sang visited the Central Technology Platform No. 2 under the Vietnam-Russia joint venture Vietsopetrol in southern Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province on February 9th, the second day of the traditional Lunar New Year. President Trương Tấn Sang suggested the oil and gas sector build a stabilization fund to map out business plans and balance incomes for employers given difficulties caused by the declining global oil prices. The workers there are responsible for collecting, treating, and transporting oil at the Bạch Hồ White Tiger field. The president described oil and gas production and exploitation as specific activities which cover not only business but also political missions and national sovereignty safeguarding. He highlighted Vietsopetrol's role in the field's activities, adding that its development illustrates the sound traditional cooperation between Vietnam and Russia. The state leader extended his New Year greetings to the workers and hoped they would strengthen solidarity to overcome difficulties for the sector's growth. Vietsopetrol currently counts 15 member units with 6,800 employees. In 2015, it exploited over 5.1 million tons of crude oil and brought ashore more than 1.4 million cubic meters of gas. Depending much on imported materials and equipment, low productivity and high production costs are some of the barriers causing the imbalanced development of Vietnam's garment and textile sector. To remove all these obstacles, the sector needs to tighten connections so as to enhance its inner force.
Having acknowledged the shortage of materials on the domestic market, this apparel company made a daring decision to build a cotton-producing factory to serve its own demand as well as the needs of other businesses.
Như vậy, khi mà đầu tư nhà máy sợi bông thì rõ ràng là
Ideally, the cotton factory has helped us reduce freighting costs for raw materials, since we previously spent so much on importing them from Taiwan. It also shortened the duration of production. As a result, production costs are lower and our products are more competitive.
Thứ hai nữa là về mặt đáp ứng về mặt tiến độ.
Last year, the sector contributed $28 billion to the country's total export value, but the proportion of locally produced materials remains low. Due to fragmented production, the output of the supporting industry for the sector failed to meet the existing domestic demand. But by joining forces, domestic garment companies can considerably ease their dependence on imported materials.
May Việt Nam là chúng ta có một cái năng lực.
We must give priority to producing fiber, textiles, and dyeing because we have great potentials to expand our garment production. Vietnam is also home to big garment and textile investors, but the investment in fiber production and dyeing remains limited.
Về quản trị hệ thống.
I think that domestic garment firms should join in a supply chain where they have interactive relations. They should give suggestions and ideas to build up better supply chains. In fact, Vietnam's garment and textile sector has seen progress in shifting its production from outsourcing to designing, making, and distributing finished products. To further improve their competitive edge and take full advantage of rising opportunities, experts recommended domestic garment enterprises to increase investments in designing and building up complete supply chains. They also stressed the need to reduce the imbalance among phases in the production chain and the dependence on overseas material sources, while making the most of potentials in the domestic market.
Navigo's Search, a Vietnamese recruitment agency, reported the biggest monthly salary for mid-level and senior managers in Vietnam was $10,000 in 2015, up 11% from the previous year. Navigo's Search report on the recruitment demands for mid-level and senior managers in Vietnam in the fourth quarter of 2015 was published in mid-January. The report says in Hanoi, banking and finance ranks first among the top 10 industries with the highest salaries in 2015. Salaries of mid-level and senior managers in these industries range from $4,450 to $8,900 per month. The banking is followed by manufacturing and real estate. Meanwhile, in Ho Chi Minh City, healthcare ranks first among the top 10 industries with the highest salaries for mid-level and senior managers. It is followed by fast-moving consumer goods, retail, banking, and finance. Salaries of these top 10 industries range from $3,110 to $10,000 per month. Given a world awash with online information, the culture of reading has been disappearing. A free-of-charge bookshop owned by Nguyễn Ngọc Cần in Ho Chi Minh City has set a good example, encouraging more people to become avid readers.
Passionate about books, Nguyễn Ngọc Cần in Bình Thành district owns a collection of books of all genres. He thought it would be wasteful to keep all the books to himself. In 2010, he decided to turn his house into a bookshop that is free of charge for every reader. I've come here for more than 4 years. I see many books interesting to both older and younger people here. More and more readers have been flocking to his bookshop, which currently stocks more than 3,000 titles. Many of them come here not just to read, but also to gain a deeper understanding of each book.
I often come here to read books. I feel peaceful and gentle seeing older people gather here to talk about books. I can read for hours here without disturbing others. I can also borrow books without a fee. I can even turn in already paid books. It's truly an effective way to get me closer to the culture of reading.
Cần does not make a profit from selling books. He used all his money gained from selling books to buy new ones. His bookshop is open from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. He usually goes around in the mornings looking for new books. I see that this pattern can benefit so many people. I hope more bookshops like this will open so a wide range of knowledge can reach a larger amount of readers. Thanks to the bookshop, Cần has helped bring a large amount of knowledge to many people. Last but not least, Cân's initiative has set a good example for people to live morally and live for everyone.
The New York Times recently named Đà Lạt, a romantic city with kaleidoscopic patchworks of flowers in the Central Highlands province of Lâm Đồng, as one of the world's top 52 places to visit in 2016.
Đà Lạt was described by the New York Times as a former French colonial hill station with eternal spring weather and an agricultural El Dorado, growing asparagus, strawberries, coffee, artichokes, roses, and more. The U.S. daily newspaper also highlighted vibrant outdoor activities in the city, including golf, whitewater rafting, mountain biking, canyoneering, and splashing under the roaring Elephant Falls or terraced Pongo Falls. Famous for its mild climate all year round, Đà Lạt has two distinct seasons, rainy and sunny ones, with the rainy season lasts from May to October. Dalat never has storms, which makes it ideal for hiking or leisure walks. It is also well known for such beautiful French architectures as King Bảo Đại Palace, Ngô Đình Diễm and Nguyễn Cao Kỳ Villas, and Hằng Nga Villas.
With over 1,000 years of history, Hanoi has been Vietnam's center of Buddhism for centuries. The city has more than 600 temples and pagodas, many of which are not only religious relics but also popular tourist sites. On the occasion of the Lunar New Year, join us in a tour of 3 of the famous pagodas in the capital city.
Located on a small peninsula on the east side of West Lake, Trấn Quốc is regarded as the most ancient pagoda in Hanoi, with a history going back more than 1,500 years. The architecture of this Buddhist place of worship is a subtle combination between a solemn and beautiful landscape and the peaceful and quiet ambience of West Lake surface.
Rất thích cái khung cảnh ở đây.
I like the landscape of Trấn Quốc Pagoda very much. This is a very old pagoda, and the tranquil atmosphere gives me a sensation of peace every time I come here.
Chùa cổ, cho nên là khi mà vào đây là mình tìm thấy được cái sự bình an.
Humbly standing on the busy Hang Đường Street, Cầu Dong Pagoda was built to worship Buddha and to honor a general who contributed significantly to the prosperity of the Chen dynasty. As this pagoda has witnessed numerous historical changes over the centuries, its architecture reflects the quintessence of different dynasties that contributed to its multiple restorations. When regarding famous pagodas in Hanoi, visitors must not miss out on Quan Sư Pagoda. The pagoda was built in the shape of a Chinese gong character, with 3 roofs in each building, and what makes it even more special are the unicorn statues carved on the roofs.
Having gone through a lot of renovation, Quan Sư Pagoda has still managed to preserve its original architecture. The things that make Quan Sư Pagoda special are the curved roofs with carved unicorns on them.
It has been a long-lasting custom of the people in the country when each New Year arrives, it is time to visit a pagoda. In Vietnam, the custom is described as lễ chùa, in which lễ means not only visiting, but also showing respects in all sincerity to Buddha and the gods of the pagodas and temples.
I visit the pagodas during spring to pray for health and prosperity for my family members.
Visiting pagodas during springtime not only has a spiritual meaning, but also aims to let the young generation understand more about the customs of the homeland.
Not only that, praying at pagodas and temples is a great way to get outside and enjoy the spring air. Mixing one's soul with these spiritual spaces, breathing in the aroma of burning incense and flowers, and enjoying the relaxing view of the pagoda's gardens, helps heal all the stresses and worries from the previous year.
That has come to an end our bulletin. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next time.